Hello, travel writers around the world. This is Professor Lilly reporting to you from Loyola University, Maryland. So, I just want to give an update about where we are in the course and describe the next major assignment, which is the reading summaries and small group discussion assignment. So, at this point, everybody has created their blog, posted their first blog article, um, and introduce yourself to your discussion group in VoiceThread, and then also in the discussion forums here. In whichever group you are, you pasted or posted your blog URL, which is useful for me, but then also useful later on for the critique assignment for your group mates to find your blog and to read your first few posts. Okay, so in general, remember the major ongoing assignment is to continue to post your travel writing articles to your blog. It's not for another month, October 22nd, when you have to have the first 6 up there. So everyone already has 1. So you have to get 5 more up there. So basically, we're looking at 1 per week on average, and it's in just keep in mind that I know everyone has different schedules, and some weeks are going to be more busy than others. By all means, if you're really productive or have more free time one week, then you can go ahead and post 2. Especially thinking that maybe a different week it's going to be maybe you're not going to be able to post at all. Also, keep in mind that in general, I think it's probably better to write up a first draft of a travel writing article pretty soon after the experience that you have that you want to write about. So if you decide to go write about a night on the town, like going and seeing the sights in a new place, then it's also good to know, keep in mind that, okay, I know I want to write about this experience I'm about to have, so you're prepared beforehand. So maybe bring a small notebook that you can write some observations in, and then also take a lot of photos, because remember that you need to have photos associated with whatever you're writing about on that blog article itself. And so if you did go out and go out on the town, take photos, write down some observations, then either that night or the next day is when you should probably write your first draft up, because you have all the observations in your mind as well. And just go ahead and write your first draft, and then you should probably be editing your articles at least 2 or 3 times before you post it to the blog. I am going to be looking at issues of grammar and just readability in general. Also keep in mind, if you go to the syllabus or you go to the script descriptions of the major assignments here, that it does say that there are, I think it has 5 required topics that everyone needs to do. So keep in mind that it's fine if you decide there's one type of thing you want to write more about. Let's say you're planning to go to several different cities in your time abroad, and you're thinking, okay, I want to write an article for each one of those cities. That's fine. So maybe you have 6 or 7 that are kind of like city discussions of what it was like to visit there, and that's fine. But just make sure that you remember that you have to touch on those required topics as well. Okay, so one thing to note here is that before the required deadline for the reading summaries and small group discussion assignment, I had it as October 1st, but I felt that was too soon. And part of the reason is because this assignment doesn't work so well if everybody posts their reading discussions like the day before the assignment's due. And that's because the small group discussions that are supposed to happen around people reading each other's reading summaries, it's hard to happen kind of in an organic way if everyone's posting the summaries like right before the due date, because then those discussions don't really have time to happen. So part of the reasons for extending this was to go ahead and the next week go ahead and read your required 8 articles, and then write your summaries up, post them to your group discussion forum, and then people can start, your group mates can start talking about them, about similar reactions they had to an article, or just ideas that they got from reading your summaries. And so that's what the smaller group discussion is supposed to be about. So again, it happens better over the course of several days or a week, not all. It's not going to happen like in a course of like half a day or a day if everyone waits till October 7 to post the reading summary. So please go ahead and start posting your summaries. So for that assignment, you have to choose 8 articles from either or total. Okay, and here's the 2 resources. And these are curations, basically curating websites where they're trying to find the best travel writing on the web, and they're posting links or directly publishing them on these 2 websites. And don't necessarily pick the first one you see, the most recent one posted. I mean, go through and kind of look at maybe the first couple sentences of some and try to find 8 that you really are interested in, whether it's from the topic or the area, the country that the person is traveling in. So you have to read 8 total and then write summaries for them. There's a description here so we're looking for, this is a little bit more than half a page to be written, and I'd like the summaries to be a little bit more reflective. I mean, obviously, at first you should say what the topic is and who the author is and kind of what approach, what kind of style they're taking to this particular article that the author is writing. But I'm looking for your kind of critique and reflection about it. Like, does it make you think of a type of article that you want to write, or is there some description or dialogue in there that you felt was confusing, or as a reader you didn't appreciate, or you did really appreciate? So I want you to get something out of reading these examples of good travel writing that might help you in your own travel writing. And that's the purpose behind the assignment. So once I think that, just read these and then write up the summaries in Microsoft Word. For each one, you do need to have the link to the article. Okay, so that myself or one of your discussion group members can. So I want you to have the topic, the name of the author, and then somewhere it could be like a phrase that's linked, or you can put in the whole URL and make it live, kind of like this, or this, where we can click on it and then we go right to that story. Okay, and it makes it a lot easier. So make sure you have that in your summaries when you post them, and you should just post them right in your discussion forum. Okay, so whichever group you're in, everyone has already posted their blog URLs here. So you would just go up, make a new discussion topic, and I think it works best if you go ahead and post all 8 of yours at once, like in one new post. Okay, so if I was going to do it, I would just put Jonathan's reading summaries, and then paste in for Microsoft Word all 8 of your summaries right here. And if you, let's see. I'm not sure if this is a great topic or a great title, but let's say this is the title. You don't necessarily have to mark it up this way, but let's say this was the title. Could even put it there. And then I could the easiest thing might be to do is just go up here and click on this link and then paste in the URL here to the article. And I'll have all 8 in one post here, and it just makes it easier. If you want to kind of chop it up and like, let's say in the next couple of days you do 4 of your reading summaries and want to go ahead and post it, then you could do 2 posts of 4. That's fine. But it just makes the discussion forum look kind of get confusing if each person posts each 8 of their summaries individually. Then it starts to get pretty busy here. I mean, too many posts to look at. So 1 or 2 per person would be fine. And then what you can do is once you notice that Megan, for example, maybe she comes in and posts all 8 of her summaries in a post, then if I'm in a group, I can click on it, I can read a couple of her summaries, and I can do a response. Okay, so you just click on it, read it, and hit reply. And then I could say, hey, Megan, I thought your reaction to that article about a trip to the mountains was really interesting, and I can say why it was. And so those are the engagements. It's just a fancy word for replies or responses. So you have to have 5 responses. And let's say that Megan then replies to mine and say, hey, hi, Jonathan, thanks for your reply. Yeah, that article really kind of interested me, and she could talk a little bit about that. So that would actually, if she replies to someone's reply to her, then that would count as one of her engagements. So I'm looking for basically 5 replies total to other people to kind of, and that's just a way to generate some discussion around some of these travel writing summaries. Let's see, let me go back here. Okay, so that's basically it. And like I said, it would work better if in this week, the end of September, you start posting these summaries. So then closer to the October 8th due date, some of these small group discussions can start happening. I will post another. So later in October is when you should be doing your critiques of each other's writing. Actual going to within the group discussion forums, actually going and reading each other's blog posts and critiquing it on VoiceThread. So I'll do a video in a week or 2 where I describe that assignment in more detail. Obviously, this shouldn't really happen until everybody has a few articles on their blog. At this point, you're only really expected to have 1 or 2 up there. So that's why this assignment is not actually due until November, but I think most of it certainly can start actually happening in October. All right, so I hope everyone is having a great time abroad. If you're having any questions or confusions, as usual, please email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Happy travels.